Hi again viewers, welcome to the Cine Film Factory's videos. This is one of many videos that we wanted to put together to give an informative background and information into cine film. So there's going to be doing lots of videos coming up from right the way through the years of cine film, covering all sorts of things like deterioration, about what we do here at the Cine Film Factory with our transfers, and pretty much everything that you would need to know to cover, obviously, you know, the backgrounds as to what we do, and obviously provide information to our viewers and our customers as to what is what in the world of 8mm cine film transfer predominantly. So in this video today I want to cover, which is probably our most frequent question that we get from our customers when contacting us, which is I'm not sure what I've got. So what I wanted to do in this video today was cover the basics of different types of cine film, and hopefully be able to give people an understanding of what they may well have had, because we, you know, completely understand that for whatever reason you have a collection of cine film that's obviously come into your possession, and it's a bit of an unknown quantity, obviously, given the age now that it's moving on. So we want to fill those gaps, give people the information about what they've got, and hopefully make them make them feel more comfortable, you know, when talking about their cine film and what they've got. So this video, as I've said, is going to cover the basis of that, and we'll kick off with the basics. So there's two major types of cine film. We've got what we call regular 8, and then we've got Super 8. And I've got a collection of the reels in front of me here, which I will hold up and show you and demonstrate, as so you can visually identify hopefully what you've got. So regular 8 is the first one. So that would have been recorded from, you know, anywhere from the 1930s up until the 1970s, and then after the 1970s came in another type of cine film, and that pretty much popularly ran until the birth of VHS, and some Betamax as well, but mainly VHS. People ran that type of cine film. So from the 1970s kind of until the sort of mid 1980s, you know, late early 90s. So and that one is called Super 8. So what used to happen back in the olden days with the cine film cameras, so people would pop to a chemist, or they go to Boots, somewhere like that, or Superdrug, you know, all those iconic places, Woolworths, you know, all those iconic places, and they could purchase one of these, which is a boxed cartridge. If we look at the date on there, the process before, so the expiry date on the side of that box, if you can see, is November 1972. So this is a Super 8 cartridge that would have been purchased but not used. So this would have been purchased, the box would have been opened, inside the box would be, because this is still sealed, would be a plastic cartridge and a small envelope, and I'll explain more in a second about that. So the cartridge out of the box would look like that. So if you've got one of those in your collection, unfortunately that hasn't been processed, so there's nothing that we can do at the Cine Film Factory with that. We can, however, put you in touch with our friends over who we use in the Netherlands at the Super 8 Reversal Lab. Hi Frank. And he processes this stuff, gets it onto a reel, and then we can obviously transfer it once it's been processed. Unfortunately, Kodak don't offer that facility any longer. There's no demand for it in the digital age, so it's an analog film. So that aside, if you've got one of those, you know, all is not lost, but it does need processing, but that needs to be done elsewhere. So the film would have been recorded on the cartridge on one of these, so out it comes into the envelope, posted off to Kodak at Hemel Hempstead. They would then process it with their chemicals, and then they would send it back to you, and you would then get something which is probably quite visually identifiable in your collection of what you've got, in a yellow packet like that. And inside there, here, will be one of these, or two of these, depending on how many you've sent off. And these are the little cartridges you'd get back, so you'd be able to visually identify what you've got. So what we call this is a 3-inch 50-foot reel. That's pretty much our most popular one. And that was the same whether it be the regular 8 that we discussed earlier, or the Super 8, so the regular 8 pre-1970s, or the Super 8 after 1970s. So that's your iconic reel that would come back. That's a regular 8 film. That's a 3-inch 50-foot regular 8 film. And the reason we know that is two reasons. The sprocket holes on the side that run through the projector are regular 8 style, retro style. And the second reason we know that is the iconic hole in the middle is a lot smaller than the Super 8. And that would obviously, most projectors, or certainly the later projectors before projectors were no longer, were what we call dual gauge. So they would play regular 8 and Super 8 at the flick of a switch. It would change the gauge over. And not only that, the mounting hole that I've identified here, there would be an adapter on the arm of the projector that you would slip off to fit either Super 8 or regular 8. So those are the iconic 3-inch 50-foot reels that lots of people can identify with. They came in a few different forms. Some of them came in boxes, back in boxes, and some came in depending on whoever processed the film, whether it be Kodak, but Kodak was the predominantly the main one. So the yellow of Kodak is a paramount. So the next thing we can tell is if we've got them, the way we also know that this is a 3-inch 50-foot reel is simple with a tape measure, and we can measure the side of the reel, and that will show us pretty much 3 inches on there. So the next size and level of reel up we've got, this is another regular 8 reel, and this is what we call a 5-inch 200-foot reel. So obviously this is an amalgamation of 4 of those. And what they used to do back in the day was splice up 4 of the 50-foot reels onto a 5-inch 200-foot reel. That was mainly done because the 3-inch 50-foot reels, the little ones, have only really got a run time anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes. So obviously if there was quite a poignant event that had been recorded, people would want to obviously sit down for a slightly longer duration rather than jumping up to change the reel over on the projector every 3 to 4 minutes. So that would obviously give us, being on a larger reel, 4 of those, it would give us about anywhere between sort of 12 to 15 minutes on there. Again, if you measure the side of there, you can see that should measure 5 inches. So moving on, the next, there was another size reel which you could have. So generally they ran in 3-inch, 5-inch and 7-inch 400-foot reels, and it's the 7-inch 400-foot reel now I'm coming to. So that may well be identifiable to you or in your collection. Again, this is a Super 8. So this is obviously double the 5-inch, so this is the 7-inch reel which held 400 feet of film. Give you a run time, again, anywhere between sort of 22 minutes to half an hour off of one of those. So you could sit down, obviously watch the Queen's Jubilee party, or the street party that people used to have back in the 70s, all the iconic events that took place in the 70s. And again, if we measure the side of this reel, that should be giving us a number on the tape measure of about 7 inches. So that is containing 400 feet of film. Now, something else that's happened over time with us, which is quite important, and we understand that obviously people aren't always aware, and if you've got a film collection, we're always happy to have a look and see what you've got, and obviously clear up anything that's not clear as to what you've got. So we're always happy to do that, but we hope that this video is informative enough to give people a good understanding of what they may well have in their collections now. So this is probably the most common confusion that we do get, and we completely understand and can see why. This is very, very similar to the Cine film that comes in. It's got the classic reel on the front, it's in the box, people assume it's Cine film. When we open it up, we can see that it looks similar to Cine film in the fact that it's a tape, and it's on a reel, and this is what we touched on earlier, 5-inch 200-foot reel. However, slightly different is that the colour is all brown. So this in fact is not Cine film at all. This is what we call audio tape. This is the stuff, again, it used to play through similar like a projector, but it didn't produce any image. It doesn't have any moving image on there whatsoever. It only has audio that would have been recorded, and this is the stuff that you would load up onto the audio players on like the reel-to-reels. You would thread it through, and then you would adjust your volume, set magnetic or optical, and it would play through the speakers, but only as sound recorded. There's nothing in there whatsoever that contains any video. So hopefully that clears that up as to what the brown stuff on the reel may well be. Some of the Super 8 as well, some of the more recent films did carry a soundtrack as well, and that's quite identifiable, because on the top of the Cine film itself you may well note a solid brown stripe, which would be a very similar colour to that, and that would held the magnetic audio part that held the sound. However, we yet to see good quality sound these days coming out of those films, anything that's identifiable and transferable. So that's it for today. That's it for this video. Hopefully that's covered lots of information and cleared that up. Any questions, feel free to get in touch with us and ask us. We're here to help. That's what it's about. It's a journey of discovery and path, and we appreciate people. We get it all the time that not everybody knows, and that's what we do. We're here to fill in the gaps. But hopefully this video has given a bit of information as to the types of film around that you may well have. So we look forward to hearing from you, and thank you very so much for watching. Keep an eye on our channel, because we've got some more videos coming up with different types of film related projects that we're working on, and film related information for our viewers and our customers. Thanks for watching today. Thank you. Bye bye.